Happy International Education Day to all of us. It's really great that we have this coincidence of having this great event on the day of our this International Day for Education. And I will start by sharing my screen. My name is Konstantinos Doukas. I'm a third generation owner, president and CEO of Doukas School, and also the founder and president of SoFIA. As a background, I'm an electrical engineer and computer scientist with an expertise on educational technology. But all my life, I'm in education. Everything started in 1917 when my grandfather, Philippos, founded this excellent and very beautiful school in the center of Athens, in Greece, Doukas School. And 106 years later, we are still a very strong institution in the north part of Athens, in the area of Marousi. This is our school that we are very proud of, a school that has a multidimensional structure with a lot of activities and a lot of very interesting things that we do. It's a school with about 1,700 students. Our educators are around 270, total employees around 550. It's pre-K and K-12, so we start around 3 years old and we arrive up to 18 with our primary, secondary in a school and also our high school and our IB International Baccalaureate in the IB diploma level, with a physical education department, IT, career counseling, quality assurance, human resources, also a very strong international collaboration hub. That grabbing this opportunity, I would like you to, and I will invite all of you to go ahead and contact us if you want some kind of collaboration with our school. That will be for us a great pleasure. We believe as a school, even though that we are quite old, 166 years old, we still feel very young. And we believe in the balance of tradition and progress. Our aim is to constantly meet the expectations of our students, their parents, our teachers, and the community. Our goal is to educate global citizens with a national identity, providing them with 21st century competencies. And competence for us is the sum of knowledge, skills, and values. Being a very good school and with many national and international certifications, awards, some of which you can see on. We had a lot of visits. We had a lot of visits from people all over the world, teachers, principals, ministers of education. And I was always very proud to present what our school is doing and what our people are creating in our school. And it was always a great experience sharing these things and these activities that we do, but also listening to what other people do around the world. What was happening is that a lot of people were asking me, "Oh, Mr. Doukas, how do you do this and how do you do that?" And I realized that and I was always open to answer, and I was always close to them to be able to guide and a little bit try to support their questions and their endeavors. But what I realized at that time is that a lot of people around the world need the idea of sharing experiences and sharing best practices. That's why I decided about 10 years ago to create SoFIA. SoFIA for us Greeks means wisdom. SoFIA is an acronym of School of the Future International Academy. And it's a non-for-profit organization based in London, in England. And the vision of SoFIA is a world where education, through its continuous involvement and transformation, will support every student to achieve his and her dreams and goals. Our mission, through our activities, to support schools, principals, teachers, and individuals to improve their knowledge and skills, and to contribute on this creation of equal opportunities for every student in the world. So why do we need to do that? Why do we need to change education? Why do we need to continuously evolve as educational institutions? That shows something quite interesting of the work of the future. So what did we see through this very nice life story of Lisa, the marine biologist? We saw new working environments. We saw what our students going to be living in. We saw a collaborative environment that brings people together dynamically and very fast and very easy. We saw intelligence, living smart, and quite a few digital assistants that give us the opportunity to work better, live better, communicate better. We're also so natural, be creative, and assemble new ideas easily. And also we saw mobility, move fast, easy, and secure. Not only your ideas, but also your experiences. That's what our students are going to be living in, and that's what we should prepare them. In this diagram, you see how long it will take until computers have the same power as a human brain. It was calculated a few years ago, and it's coming soon. So we do know that we have computers more and more smart every day. On the other hand, what do we have? We have kids that they are bored in school. We have kids that, any kindergarten you visit anywhere in the world, kids are happy, they're creative, they're engaged, they're smiling. On the other hand, we see quite a few schools around the world in the high school area, grades, but kids are bored. Why is this happening? Why do they lose their motivation? Almost 73% of the students that answered if there is a motivating way you learn in class, they were negative in these ages of 14, 15 and more. And why is that? Because they don't see any relevance from what they're doing in school, from that out in the real world them to do. So what is the challenge? I'm using this graph from Thomas Friedman book, Thank You for Being Late. What Mr. Friedman wrote on this book is the challenge that human adaptability compared to technology is going much slower. So what do we need to do? We need to do the faster way in order to be able to learn faster and govern smarter, in order to be able to use technology in the right way. But how are we going to be able to do these dotted lines? How are we going to be able to get the shortcut? Only through education, and not after school, in school. Starting from the younger ages, we have to give our students the tools and the capabilities to get this dotted line and go faster and smarter. This is from the Bureau of Education of UNESCO for the future competencies, the lifelong learning, the self-agency, interactively using diverse tools and resources, interacting with others, interacting in and with the world, transdisciplinarity, like STEM, and multi-literacies. And another very interesting graph is this one from OECD produced just last year, 2022, that shows how important it is to strengthen societal benefits of education, approach learning in an integrated and balanced way, make lifelong learning the guiding concept. These three main pillars is part of the reflection of the by OECD. Yeah, we do know and we did see that the learning shift is happening. It has already started in many schools around the world. We see teacher-led classrooms to flipped classrooms, independent learning to collaborative learning, individualized learning to personalized learning. So yes, the change is happening. But how do we really? First of all, we should start from the vision of change. We have to build a clear roadmap to drive change and implement the transformation. I'm using here some of the, the progressive, the holistic, the comprehensive, the pedagogy, project-based, and all these things that we all discuss. But how do you really do that? I'm suggesting these main 4 key elements. First of all, you have to, as a leader, you have to provide a rationale for change. Second, our role as a leader is to model new behaviors. Third, strengthen and the teachers. And the fourth is to be able to evaluate, measure, in order to be able to be accountable, in order to be able to create new tasks and new actions. Let me show you a video of what a leader can do in order to create behaviors and lead.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated. Follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate. 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no. There's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the important equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told.
So let's be this kind of a leader. Let's be the leader that will help all his people drive the change in order to be able to help our students and evolve. How do we do that? There is always a top-down approach. The vision, it usually comes from the leader, from the school principal, from the Minister of Education, whatever. But in order to be able to implement the vision, you need the actions. And the actions are usually a bottom-up approach. And they have to be a bottom-up approach in order to have everybody engaged and participating in this change. In SoFIA, and one of the things that we are presenting today is the school self-assessment. This tool is very useful. And this tool is powerful because it can help school leaders self-assess their education organization status, the school, and according to their vision, strategy, priorities, and budget, receive proposals and suggestions and mentoring on how to. The major advantage of this tool is the personalized feedback that you get. So each school leader will receive a followed by constructive and targeted comment and suggest a report, which is usually quite big, about 50 to 60 pages. and it has the spirit of continuous improvement and sustainability. SoFIA is using a trade market framework, process framework with 7 areas of focus. The first one is the strategy. The second is education. The third one is education support services. The fifth is human resources. The sixth is infrastructure facilities. And the seventh is financial resources. So both education and operational areas are covered. And this framework is a total approach for the whole organization. Some of the things that we focus on our mentoring programs are the leadership and the values and the change management, the curriculum, activities, tools, student skills, supporting services, the library, transportation, enrollment, scholarships, career counseling. The fourth is managing relationships with students and parents. Also human resources and management, infrastructure and financial management, processes, tools, and systems supporting education and CSR, risk management, continuity plans, sustainability, and many more. What is the schedule? The schedule of our SSA process is about 6 months collaboration. At the beginning, we speak with the school leader team, and it's a synchronous meeting, introductory discussion, we get to know each other, and then we get school principal or the school leader, which is like my school in a snapshot. So we get an idea of the name, the size, some historical data of the school, what the school is doing, and what is the vision and the studies of the school. Then we explain to the school leader how he could use and he should use the school self-assessment that he can use, and we will give him about 3 weeks in order to be able to do it on his own pace, and in order to do it properly and understand what the questionnaires are and how the software works. It's a very easy to use software, really easy. What happens after is that we get the results. We do our back office, the main points that we will discuss on the next step, which is the discussion of findings, which is synchronous. So the school leadership team to call in this meeting, and now SoFIA experts will discuss the first round of findings. We'll give our first, we'll discuss with the school leader, and then we'll have a second synchronous meeting, which is a deep dive session. We'll set the goals, we'll prioritize the strategy. After that, the school leader and his team will have certain actions that he will have to do in the next 4 to 6 months. And after this period, we have a reevaluation meeting when we will sit down with the school leader. He tells what he did, how things went, what did go great, what didn't go so good, in order to and create the next steps for the next round of progress and involvement. Here are some statements from Ghana, Georgia, Romania. Many different principals realized and said many nice words about the SoFIA's mentorship session, that it helped them understand what they're doing and showed them the way to evolve, that gave them inspiration and taught them new ways to improve themselves and their institution, create a strategy, organize a strategy, do next steps better designed, see things outside the box, understand where they stand, get this X-ray of where they are and create a better vision on where they want to go. And another one which is quite important is the best practices. SoFIA brings into this discussion and this school self-assessment many best practices from educational systems and educational organizations from all over the world. And this is very helpful for the school leader because he gets ideas that they're not really ideas. He gets suggestions that they can be immediately implemented in his school or her school. These are some of the stuff we use. This is the actions we do for the career management and the career. This is from one-to-one learning and teaching methodology. If a school wants to go to one-to-one learning with student tablets or student laptops. If a school wants to design open learning spaces, we also have this expertise. We can cover any area of a school design. So we are very happy, we're very proud, and we thank really Learning Planet for giving us the opportunity to make this presentation. And through this opportunity of today's presentation, we are giving SoFIA the ability for you to apply for a free Mentoring for School Leaders program. You just see this link on my presentation, but it will be also in the chat, and also it will be presented by the Learning Planet. And this whole presentation has been recorded and will be posted on the SoFIA website and also in the SoFIA different kind of media and social media tools. Thank you very much, and I'm available for your questions. Through the chat, please, or you can raise your